We said it's not going to go to trial, but I'm like, I don't know, girl.
I don't think it's gonna.
I can't do this
I
anymore.
don't think it's gonna go to trial because if it goes to trial, she'll completely lose.
It's the Pop Report.
So juicy.
The fact that you, before this podcast, called Diet Dr. Pepper Diet Dr. Pepsi.
Okay, well, for context,
For context,
we are
we
doing
not
75.
drinking.
Yeah, we're not drinking because we're doing 75 hard. We started week 3. And at this point, water, as exciting, as great as
boring.
it is for your body, because it's very hydrating, it's getting really boring. And sparkling water is also getting kind of boring. So I went to the market the other day and I decided to try this non-alcoholic bubbly white wine. And I have to tell you, it is quite disgusting. And I've been trying a variety of different mocktails. I've even tried some THC drinks, like soda waters that have THC in them and a little bit of flavoring. Those I can deal with. This non-alcoholic wine is gross. And I was explaining to Andy, I go, sometimes on occasion, I like to have, a diet soda and I like a Diet Dr. Pepsi. And then I realized Diet Dr. Pepsi is not a real thing. And what I meant to say was I like Diet Dr. Pepper.
I will forever stand by Diet Dr. Pepsi as something coming from your mouth. That was intentional. Let it be clear. Let it be clear. I'd like to drink a Diet Dr. Pepsi just to see what that tastes like.
Yeah. I don't like Pepsi, though.
Nope. Pepsi's Pepsi. No, I love Coke. Like, someone's going to clip that out very out of context. I love Coca-Cola. It's like Kristen Chenoweth.
Oh, yeah.
Coca-Cola.
She's like, they're like, what are you giving up in the new year? She's like, I'm giving up Coke. I'm going to be, yeah. And people are like, oh, and she's like, Coca-Cola.
I watched Selling the City, which it'd be great to talk to some of the girls about, all of these selling real estate shows.
Oh,
but Selling the City, I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Your boyfriend told me about that. He's like, you need to watch Selling the City. And I was like, who watches Selling the City? And he's like, it's really good. You have to watch it. Because I was like, where did I just have this conversation with somebody?
They do a good job breaking the wall, but like there's a comment in there that one of the girls says when she's ordering a drink, she's like, Coke with a straw because it makes me happy. And I was like, someone sees me. Someone understands. And I was like, not just Coke with a straw because it makes me happy.
Well,
I
do coffee with the straw, but that's to keep my teeth white.
Bitch, that's different. Bitch. I am on my second cup of coffee and I'm tired. If you feel that, obviously subscribe, ? Leave a review, leave a comment. I'm tired. I am it. We had a day off.
Martin Luther King Day, yeah. Did you actually take the day off? No.
Yes.
You did?
Someone asked me to work, but I said, no, I'm not near a computer. I took my dog to the park. I needed to get outside. As Katy Perry says, touch grass. And so I did. And I had a really nice date with my boyfriend and just had a nice little time. But I was like, thank God I got outside.
Yeah.
Because between the things we've faced in LA going on and just like, whatever side you're on political wise, there's just a lot of things in pop culture that just happened in like 2 days.
I know it's been a busy week considering we're only on not even all the way through a Tuesday. I know this is airing on Wednesday, but we tape this on Tuesdays and we're not even through the full Tuesday.
No. And you worked yesterday. You were posting your Baldoni and lively clips and I was seeing
I work every day.
Very, very small. I was like, it's MLK Day. And I'm barely seeing this even. And it was inauguration clips. It was like pardoning clips. And I'm just like, there's too much in one. I'm like, we do this on MLK Day. We forget about, it's like, we're going to work. It's like, great.
Well, I mean, it was like the fires, right? Like even through the fires, like everybody was still working. Like things were still like LA doesn't stop.
The world does not sleep. Zack Peter does not sleep unless it's 9 p.m.
Actually, I went to bed at 7:30 last night.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
I was just like, I'm tired. There's nothing left for me to do for the day. I'm just going to go to bed early. And I did.
Yeah. Well, for our first Hot in the Headline, we have to recap just kind of like the past 48 hours of the week of January 20th. And so I will just say I was bewildered. And like I saw this video of like Hassan Minhaj being like, if you stare at your phone and and I shared it myself and I was like, he was like, if you stare at this box, you will be upset. You need to put your phone down, do your thing. But he's like, our society has now tapped into our phone to pay at a restaurant, to pay all these things. and like I just want to have my own time. But like the more you stare at this, the more frustrated you're gonna get with like whatever in your life. So we had an inauguration happen. We had a TikTok ban happen. We had a performance from a country star. And so to just go back, we had a joke of a ban. Like we had a joke of a ban.
I know. I mean, we thought it was going to be a ban, and it lasted, what, 12 or 14 hours?
I think I saw a joke that was like the TikTok ban still lasted longer than than Selena Gomez's social media breaks. And I was like, this is a lot. But this ban on TikTok, people were flooding my feeds like, goodbye TikTok, thanks for the memories, thanks for the good time. And I'm like, cute, everyone's like a nice little send off. There's people losing their jobs, unfortunately, but
well, I mean, I have a lot of opinions about that, but when it comes to TikTok, did you see the influencers that were, I guess, posting about how a lot of their content was like fake, or if they would have a brand deal, they wouldn't even drink certain sodas. Like they were just like, if TikTok's going down, then I'm just going to be fully transparent and give you guys the insider TikTok secrets. And so many, that was what my For You page was flooded with when I came back to TikTok.
Oh, I saw a couple of those, like the jig is up. Like I saw the Duolingo owl reveal its true personality.
Yeah.
Like the person behind it. But like all these people remembering the app, and like I'm like, damn. First I thought like those girls at TikTok who would be like, I need a job now. I was thinking of those people who like have a mom and pop shop and they're like, I make slime and now I can't sell my slime.
I don't feel bad for them. And I know that that's, listen, no, but hear me out. I know that that's a really hot take, but here's the thing. I've been in this content creation game for a long time. I've had No Filter for 10 years now, and I've had a number of different pivots. I mean, we saw this happen with MySpace. We saw this happen with Vine. If you're going to, similar to somebody that wants to be an entrepreneur, or similar to somebody that wants to invest in the stock market, you know that there are going to be risks, there are going to be casualties, and it's the same thing with content creation, whether it's on TikTok or any other platform. I've always said you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket. You need to diversify your content. You need to diversify your streams of income. Like even now, I try to make sure I have 6 to 8 different streams of income so that if one thing takes a hit, I'm prepared. You know what I mean? So I didn't love all the people that are like, we're going to be out of jobs. Like you need to be, I understand TikTok was newer. People gained a lot of success very quickly. TikTok is one of the few apps where you could immediately shoot to the top. It's easy to get followers and it's easy to get engagement as long as you hack the algorithm. It's one of the easiest platforms to become successful and popular on. So unfortunately, not enough people had enough experience with, you know, having a career that has longevity in the content creation game. And this will be a learning lesson for them, whether they're going to stick it out or they're going to flounder in the future.
I mean, I just think of those people who found success like too late when the app was like in its last bit. So those people who found success in the last 6 months being like, I finally have enough orders coming in on this like apron I make or whatever it is. And I'm like, oh, homegirl, I am so happy for you. You found that success, but like you didn't get enough time to push those girls somewhere else. Or, you know, I feel for those people who, you know, it's still bringing to them. They're like, fuck me. But, you know, we had this ban happen.
I mean, do you feel bad when somebody invests in the stock market and loses money off of a bad investment? Like it sucks, but that's the nature of the beast. That's the game that you're playing. It's a gamble jumping into the game of content creation. And if you're going to sell aprons, you should be on Etsy, you should be on Amazon, you should be on Instagram, you should be on TikTok, you should even be on Facebook.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And everyone's just, you know, learning the best I can. But yeah, TikTok had it's like a lot of things, but it's never going to be the same in this. How long was that ban? 20?
Was it like
4?
No, it was like 12 hours.
Girl, I was trying to upload a podcast clip of ours, and I was like, damn it, why won't this?
Oh, because it went down at that time.
Well, it was like 12 o'clock
the
that
date
day.
that it was gonna be expiring. It's not like it was.
The date was midnight. It was like a certain timestamp. Like it was not on. It was the what?
It was 8:30. 8:30.
Tell me why, girl. 12:30. That like a lot of the feeds were no longer operating. I couldn't upload a piece of content. It's like.
Well, why would you even upload content knowing that the feed was going to be down by the end of the day?
You never know what's going to happen, girl, as we see. But like, it's like if your business closes at 8 p.m., then why are we going to close doors at 2:30?
Well, yes, but at the same time, if your business closes at 8 p.m., then you're not baking new muffins at 2:30.
Yeah, you have a lunch rush.
You're getting rid of the inventory that you have left.
Oh,
That's
girl, you
why
can't.
they stopped making coffee at certain places, which I don't like. I actually am with you on that one. They stopped making coffee at a certain hour because they're like, nobody drinks coffee after a certain time. And I'm
Nope.
just like, well, that's some bull sugar.
Well, I was like, I have some like 8 hours left. Like, at least everyone's gonna get their little field day with this content, if it is saved, whatever it be. And like, the strangest prompt comes up for everyone, which is like, we've never had a push. It was almost like the U2 album put on everyone's iPhone. It was like,
Yeah.
thank you, President Trump. And it was like, he's not president yet. He's like, he's still got like another 12 hours, but it's like, obviously we know backdoor deals happen, like coming into specific people coming in office. People are like, oh, you rub my back, I'll rub yours.
Yeah.
And so it was just weird to have a tech organization firmly push to all of its users, not even like a company statement on like its official website. It was like push notification to the homepage as soon as you go in. Never had that before. So that was very
Well, is there an official, like the TikTok app is their official?
TikTok newsroom. There's like the
Yeah, but
TikTok,
how many
any
people are realistically going to the TikTok
that's any
newsroom
company,
to get?
girl.
Well, but
That's a
they
Netflix
reach their
newsroom. That's the Hulu
users by
newsroom.
posting it on the home screen of the app that everybody's using.
Do you think you've ever seen a Facebook announcement that's on the homepage of Facebook?
No, and that's why I don't know what the fuck's going on with Facebook.
That it was just very strange to acknowledge that of like someone who's not even in office yet to be like, thank you to President Trump. And it's like, he's got another day, girl.
It said
Like, what?
president-elect.
Yeah. It was like, what efforts though? What
Yeah.
happened? Like, what before he took
Yeah.
office? Like, so it was like, you can't necessarily do anything till day one. Like, it wasn't even day one. So it was strange because also the TikTok CEO no longer had CEO in his bio. And it was like,
Okay, so here's my theory. I think there's already been a sale.
I think that this has been a whole sham because there's also that situation where there was a safe TikTok party that turned into a like celebration of Trump party where they invited very pro Trump like influencers and more. And they're like, it was very last minute. And it's like, girl, this this the step and repeat that like you can't do a last minute party like this.
Yeah.
It just seemed like there was something all along knowing that this would be what it was. There were obviously reports of a potential Elon Musk sale that could not be verified. And it's like, where
Yeah.
did this come from? But it's like, even though it's unbanned, the app will never be the same, girl. Like it is people are already like, this is something's gonna change.
Yeah,
Something's gonna be different.
well, the force of the sale to the U.S. was so that we can have like to take China's influence out of the app. But the argument that people are making is that what makes TikTok so great is the algorithm. And in China, the privacy restrictions aren't as strict as they are here in the US. That's why when you compare the Instagram algorithm with Meta in comparison to the TikTok algorithm, it's very different, right? And so the concern was security issues with China and the way that they obtain user information in order to curate the algorithm on TikTok, which is why it's so specific to its individual users. So I think the concern that people have is that if, when it does become a US app or the US has some ownership over TikTok, that's going to hurt what the secret sauce of TikTok was, which was their very specific and curated algorithm. So people have even said that when they got back on TikTok, that the algorithm seemed a bit off. Their content wasn't performing as well as they remember it performing prior to TikTok being banned, yada, yada, yada.
It was just strange because like it's like how do you split an algorithm of a sale? It's just like the division of assets. Like it does not make democratic sense as a business, like how to divvy that up and even possibility in the realm to sell. So it was just very strange of like, we're going to do a 50-50. It's like, the US is not the only girl who consumes TikTok. So it was just very strange. And it's still, it's still happening. Like TikTok's still out there, but everyone's like, we gotta figure out where to put not our eggs in one basket, as you say. But it's like, okay, what's next? Is it Red Note, another, Chinese influence? Like, is it like who? But we have like Swiss VPNs. We have like all these different European states and nations that like have apps and more, but we haven't come after them, and we go after the China one for.
Well, I think because TikTok was the most popular, right? Like that's the one that had, and people are saying that one had a lot of influence in
It had,
particular
it
on
had,
like the election and whatnot, that it was influencing the American people in a way that, there were concerns with regards to the lack of privacy restrictions when it came to collecting user data on TikTok.
it's just strange. You look at the Equifax breach, you look at all these things that like
Yeah.
my credit card's been compromised more than the information of TikTok's been compromised, and
That
that is
you
a
know
U.S.
of, right? Your credit card
Yeah,
hasn't been
it's like
compromised because it's not owned by China.
it's just like the fuck. So that was kicking off the weekend, going into Monday, being like every every
I know.
everything hit the fan possible that like I don't want to say anybody could project. And you have Mark Zuckerberg looking at Lauren Sanchez's boobs. You have
I didn't see
Carrie
that.
Underwood singing a cappella. Like,
Yeah.
I think the Carrie Underwood thing, people are just giving hate to give hate, obviously, because she
Yeah.
chose to do the performance. I don't think it was good nor bad. It was just like she did it.
I didn't think it was bad.
Um,
I thought I mean, listen, she's got a beautiful voice. She sang well considering the tech issues. She had to sing a cappella because they couldn't get the music to work. But,
Strange.
I think, yeah, that was weird. That,
It
like,
was weird.
because then didn't the guy come and sing right after her and the music was fine by that point?
It's Billy Ray Cyrus, different.
No,
Also,
there was another guy that came out. And, what
I
did he
know.
say? Are you saying he looked like Billy Ray Cyrus?
No, I'm just saying Billy Ray Cyrus is also like, what is this performance a cappella? That's a little different. Um, so yeah, we just had a lot of things come out of that. Obviously, the executive order is just too many to count.
I
There's a
wonder if
lot of
Carrie Underwood's like her like I don't want to say QR score, but what is that? Like, has her popularity taken a hit since, like, I know a lot of people were dragging her online, but like, have her music sales dipped or anything since making this decision?
we don't know any streaming numbers
Yeah.
like of the amount of monthly listeners. Like we can't get that data yet. I'm sure someone's going to put that out.
Yeah.
Um, but you can probably look at the listenership. Maybe Spotify is going to release something or some group that's associated with data reporting. But like, yeah, there were a ton of memes, a ton of things coming out of everything going on. And then obviously Elon Musk doing what he did. And the discussions online were just like, girl, what do I even want to be on my phone? Because like everything's come out of left field that you can't expect. Um, and so everyone's just like, what do we do? It's MLK Day. We have the day off. Like, so it it is strange. It's a strange time for people who are federal workers, like who have to now go full time in office.
I mean, they did it
Um,
before.
I mean, it's going to be interesting because there are certain things as an overarching umbrella, themes that are set up for groups, people, workers, and to just say, kidding, you can't, you just moved, we're going to take all that back.
Well, I think we
Healthcare, we're
got a
going to
lot
take
of
that back.
luxuries when we were in COVID times, right? And people then got to embrace the work from home system. And,
It's just
we
like
did it
government.
before. Like, I saw people. There's this one girl online, and she was complaining, and she's like, "Oh my God, I now have to go back to work, and like, what am I supposed to do about childcare?" And my reaction to that was, well, childcare is something people had to figure out pre 2020. Like, this isn't, this isn't like a big game changer that we're suddenly shifting the workforce. We just had, an unprecedented time that, then forced people to work from home because we weren't coming into the office as much. But like, for decades, people worked in the office. I personally, I mean, rather than taping on Zoom, I love going into studio and interacting with people. I enjoy the ability to go in studio or to go on site and work rather than working from home. So I don't think it's that polarizing of a shift as people are trying to make it out to be, considering it's what we did for decades prior to 2020.
It's just interesting looking at like what we structured then for people's pay, like companies that are in federal work. We're like, we're not going to have this office because everyone's work from home, or we're not going to pay as much because like we have you having the comfort of your home. That's like a benefit. And so it's like, what will these changes be necessarily like to now have a federally enforced mandate with those people who might have certain situations that are health accommodated or more like it's just like what's the federal worker plan to get everyone to go back in? Now it's like boom. There's not like
The
like
plan
a
was in
180-day
place. The
plan.
plan was in place for decades prior to the last 4 years. Like, it's not some big overhaul of changing. And when it comes to medical, I mean, I literally was dating, or not dating, but I was seeing this guy that was telling me about, he doesn't work in the federal government, but he has he has a job, and he's just like, I personally don't care to go into the office. I don't like interacting with people. I would rather work from home. So he went to his therapist and had her write him a letter that he then submitted to his job that said that he has debilitating social anxiety, so he can't go into the office. Meanwhile, I met this guy because we take group fitness classes together at Orange Theory. So the debilitating anxiety isn't as extreme if you can go to a group fitness class and interact, and in some cases we're partnered up for certain challenges or whatnot, depending on whatever the specialty workout of the day is. So I'm like, so your social
So what happens with
anxiety.
that situation though? Like what does that like therapist thing get null and void? Like what happens in that
Well, he doesn't work
situation?
for the federal government. He works for a private company, and they allow him to work from home. That's their own prerogative. But my point is that, like, people claim, I mean, just like service animals, right? Like, people will take their dog, and my dogs are service animals. I have a letter that says they're service animals, and I don't have to pay for them in my apartment. Like, these things. We get these certificates to bend the rules
But
a little bit
what
for
about
our
the
own
people who aren't
personal.
making it up though? What about the people who, let's say, aren't putting the icing on the cake?
I think that well, then in that case, then there should be, provisions that allow them to, have their accommodations met. But I don't think that everybody should just work from home because it's their own convenience or a luxury. I think, we've spent decades working in the office. And if you don't have a debilitating disability that prevents you from coming into the office, I don't think it's the end of the world to have to go back into the office.
It's just weird because we've also like established that we can do both. Like we are girls that are like versatile. We have days we work at home and like we get just
Yeah.
as much productivity done. So it's weird. It's a weird time, but um, you know, that was the whole thing. Plus Blake and Justin.
Oof.
And I'm like, I thought we were taking a break because it's Monday. And I'm like, no, bitch, you are buckled in to this fucking joyride and you are going with it still. Do you want to take over for this Blake and Justin situation? Because these clips, including today's clips, um, of what I've seen, it's just like, we're not going anywhere. They're going to just be like, another week, another clip, another week, another statement. It's like, we said it's not going to go to trial, but I'm like, I don't know, girl.
I don't think it's
I
gonna.
can I can't do this
I
anymore.
don't think it's gonna go to trial, because if it goes to trial, she'll completely lose. Like, there's no way. I mean, his team's being smart with, making sure they elongate this as much as they possibly can with dropping new information every week, right? It started when Brian Friedman went on Megyn Kelly's show and they released the audio clip of him in the basement, right? The voicemail or the voice note that he
Mhm.
left one of his other colleagues about being in the basement. And then, we got the official lawsuit and we saw the photos of them in the basement. And now we have this new footage where, I'll actually read it directly from Blake's lawsuit, where I'll read her allegation and then we can discuss um, the clips in
There's
question.
a 10-minute plus
Just under
clip,
10 minutes, yeah. And
just
so
just shy of 10.
just shy of 10. So in her complaint, Blake Lively says, on another occasion, Mr. Baldoni and Miss Lively were filming a slow dancing scene for a montage in which no sound was recorded. Mr. Baldoni chose to let the camera roll and have them perform the scene, but did not act in character as Ryle. Instead, he spoke to Miss Lively out of character as himself. At one point, he leaned forward and slowly dragged his lips from her ear down her neck and said, "It smells so good." None of this was remotely in character or based on any dialogue in the script, and nothing needed to be said. Again, there was no sound. Mr. Baldoni was caressing Miss Lively with his mouth in a way that had nothing to do with their roles. When Miss Lively later objected to this behavior, Mr. Baldoni's response was, "I'm not even attracted to you." So then what Baldoni did, since he's his company
He's that
Wayfair.
girl.
No, his company is Wayfair, and they own all of the raw footage. What they did was they took all the raw footage from that scene. They had 3 different takes, and they released them unedited in their entirety so that people can see how that scene played out. right? And if he was caressing her neck and saying she smelled so good, and then you watch the actual clip, and collectively it's just under 10 minutes
It's
with all three different takes put together, strung together. So in it, you see, yes, he does say smells so good, but it's in response to her saying, "Oh my God, I'm sorry, I think I'm getting my spray tan all over you." And he's like, "Don't worry about it, it smells good." And she's like, "Oh, that's just my body makeup."
yeah, and
So
it's like
different
the
context.
commentary is very playful. It's like, oh, it smells good, and she's like, it's my what? He's like, the spray tan smells good or something of the sort, and I was just like,
Oh no, she said, "I'm sorry, I may be getting my spray tan all over you." And then he said, "It's okay, it smells
mm.
good." And then she's like, "Well,
And
that's
I'm
my body
like,
makeup."
this is all smiling. It's like we've all acted a fool, girl. We've all done a little scene, and it's like you're trying to seem all smiley, happy. He also compliments her relationship with Ryan,
Hmm.
like, and talks about like staring at his wife,
Well,
like
yeah.
sometimes that they do it for like what 5-10 minutes.
So she says in her complaint that there was no audio recorded. And we now know, based off of Baldoni's account in his lawsuit, that she wasn't aware that he was actually wearing a mic. So all of the raw audio was being recorded, which, to be fair, if you don't think there's audio, you can maybe fudge the details because you don't think there's any actual proof of
Mm-hmm.
that. He happened to be wearing a mic and released all of the raw audio, but she says that they did not act in character as Ryle. Instead, he spoke to Miss Lively as himself. At one point, he leaned forward, dragged his lips, said, "You smell so good." None of this was remotely in character or based on the dialogue of the script, and nothing needed to be said because, again, there was no sound. Now, he says that there wasn't supposed to be any dialogue, and you can clearly see in this 8 or 9, 10 minute video clip, you can see that she's the one that's engaging in conversation, because in his lawsuit he claims there wasn't any dialogue and we didn't want to shoot us speaking. However, she kept breaking character by talking, and then she said, "The reason I think we should be speaking in this scene is because me and my husband, usually when we're dancing or looking into each other's eyes, we can't stop talking." And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, well, that's different because with me and my wife, we'll just stare and look at each other's eyes without having to say anything." And she's just like, "Oh, like a psychopath." And then they joke and laugh about that. So you can see that the dialogue was being added in through her direction, right? She's the one
Right.
that's speaking out of character, and she's the one that's adding dialogue to a scene that wasn't supposed to be recording any audio.
And you can see when he yells cut, like it's just acting. And you can tell like they're having a conversation. He obviously does gestures that are like playing into his role, but he's like, I'm playing into what Blake's direction is right now. Like we're talking, we're having a conversation, and he's applauding her like in her relationship. He's not saying
Yeah.
anything inappropriate, out of character of like, I want to unfortunately do anything to you. I like your hair, not making any moves necessarily. The only comment we get is like, your spray tan smells good. Oh,
Yeah.
it's the body makeup. Like, it's never anything that is, let's say, crossing a boundary or any
Yeah.
whatsoever line.
And I've seen chatter online because listen, anytime I cover this,
Chatter.
obviously I get reactions from both sides, right? And people online are like, "Oh, well, you can tell she looks visibly uncomfortable with him in her presence," which my perspective and my viewpoint of it, I don't see any discomfort. I see her laughing. I
I
see
see
them
attraction.
giggling. I see them, having some sort, there's clearly chemistry between them, and chemistry doesn't necessarily need to be romantic. I think you and I have good chemistry because when people are in synergy,
Okay.
shut up. When people have
Okay.
synergy, there's
Lawsuit.
just that natural, flow of chemistry that, I think happens, especially when you're two stars that are anchoring a film together, right? You're the two main stars and it's a love
Hmm.
story. So, yeah, there should be chemistry between the two main characters. Otherwise, you have a situation like Ashton Kutcher and Reese Witherspoon. Remember when they did their Netflix rom com and they had no
Right.
chemistry and then they were standing next to each other on the red carpet and people are like, they look so awkward. So
Yes.
chemistry is important, and you can see that these two clearly have a lot of chemistry. They're flirty, they're having a fun banter back and forth, they're bringing up each other's spouses, so there's a level of respect that they have for each other's relationships. It's not making her look good, and the more that comes out,
No,
the worse she looks in all of this. Because this
it's
is a
just
very
like,
clear, sorry, I don't mean to ramble, but like this is a very
hit it.
clear instance of an incident that she makes of one of her claims, and she says this is what happened, and then you have the footage. And listen, footage is not biased. Footage is objective. It's going to show you exactly what happened.
It's not a he said, she said
Right.
anymore. It's like every situation, unfortunately, has had a proof of receipt. text, conversation, video, photo. There are obviously things that we don't have of like in trailer interactions, on set interactions. We have written discretion of some of those interactions, but like as they say, always get it in writing. And so the fact that a lot of this is documented, we're like every week having little Easter egg hunts. And we have Miss Taylor, who has also been named into it. So it's just like what other Easter eggs are there to display?
Yeah, apparently Taylor's very confused about why she's being brought up in all of this. She's like, the only time I ever interacted with Justin Baldoni, it was one time, and it's the first time that I ever met him. And like, I didn't know that there were all these on-set, development issues with the production. She's like, I just lent my song, and I was proud of my song being part of this film. But it's interesting because we don't have Taylor Swift defending Blake Lively. We didn't have Taylor Swift attend the premiere of It Ends With Us, even though her song was, the anthem of the movie. I think the Taylor Swift piece has become very strange to me.
I think it's very telling too if Taylor does say anything, but it seems like she at times in her behaviors, whether it's been political, whether it's been cultural, she has come in sometimes at the last moment to say something.
Or like when she's pressured.
Right. So like she's spoken at the VMAs candidly about specific issues. She's spoken like when it came to the election and the last few bits. But if she says something, it's because there's an enormous amount of pressure. But it'll be interesting if she does say something for this. I don't think it's going to get there, to be totally honest. I don't think that there's going to be, Taylor, we need to hear from you.
I mean, if this does go to trial, I would not be surprised if they would subpoena her and have her, appear as a witness.
Yeah, like that penthouse interaction. But until the next week and until the next Easter egg, we'll keep you updated on that one. So obviously, if you love the Pop Report, you leave a review, which no one has in a minute. But I saw this one. It says, Zack and Andy always brighten up my week. Well, that's nice because I wish someone brightened up my week. Kidding. We have obviously more things to discuss, but we have music news. Music news. Not too much, not too little. It's the same damn shit because I feel like the world has just got other shit going on. We'll talk about Justin Bieber in a minute if he is coming with new music. That's the theory. But Lady Gaga started her countdown of whatever this LG7 update is. So she has on her website a countdown. And we've been knowing about this like whole LG7 situation for like a while. We've talked about it. Cool. I'm off the Gaga train. I will say that. Yeah. Like I wish I don't know, something tuned me out. She has a clock that is slated to run out 11 a.m. Monday, January 27th. Don't know if that means like we have a formal announcement. What gonna happen?
Probably a single.
Maybe another single. Who knows? But people notice that when you look at it, it's blue crystals. And when you move the phase, or when you move your mouse, there's a phrase LG1 in the signature, which is the Fame, which I think is the best album. And so there's crystals, there's oversized bejeweled glasses that's very similar to the Fame that she wore in this 2008 album. So people think this is like okay, are we getting a reprise of like the Fame, like a different version of the Fame? I think it'd be great, but like, who fucking knows at this point? Just in time for her to perform at Coachella. But
there you go.
On top of that, for other music news, we have the Grammys, which are still happening on February 2nd.
Are the Critics' Choice Awards still happening?
Girl, don't know. I haven't heard anything of a chatter. I might have missed that. But the news, while you look that up, Trevor Noah is hosting. This is his fifth consecutive time.
Oh, it was
hosting.
Pushed to, sorry, Critics' Choice Awards was pushed to February 7th.
Got it. So that's going to be a busy week for all of us. So my gripe is, why are we having the same person come back 5 times in a row? I don't think that there's been any move of the needle with Trevor Noah. So
what happened to his show?
Which one? Comedy Central?
Didn't he have a late night talk show?
No.
Yeah, he did.
What?
Trevor Noah
looked it up.
Show.
It was a Comedy Central show, right?
Was it a Comedy Central show? Oh, yeah, the Daily Show on Comedy Central.
I'm like, what are you talking about? Don't trip me out.
It was still a late
Um,
night show.
kind of. Yeah. It would yeah, it would have different times it would come on. But this is the third time I guess they're saying this is his stressful situation. Um, and so I misquoted that it's 5 years consecutively, but it's his fifth time hosting. Or no, it is consecutive. It is the fifth year in a row. He's hosted since COVID. He's hosted through the 2022 telecast through COVID again. Um, it's just like I don't know. Did we ask for this again? Like I want to see another person get a chance to do this. That's all I'm getting out there. But the Grammys are happening. Obviously, we're still recovering as a city with the fires. I guess the Grammys are still going forward though. So we'll see what really happens because this show is, you know, reframed, reshaped. What budget we have, don't know. Still know nothing. And it's available to stream live on Paramount Plus.
Well, that's not helpful. It's because nobody has Paramount Plus, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, go off, Queen. And that's your music news.
Yeah. Well, should we talk about Justin Bieber since we're in music news and this kind of like dips into music news?
I guess so, my queen.
So, King, Justin Bieber, Justin Bieber,
Justin
we
Baldoni.
may get some new music from him. That's kind of what people are thinking that
I didn't ask for it.
he teased something that I think we discussed last week. He like kind of teased it, but we don't really know what's coming. But a lot of people have been paying attention to his Instagram because he unfollowed Usher, he unfollowed Scooter Braun, and most recently he unfollowed his wife
His
Hailey
wife.
Bieber. And so people are like, "What?" And then he came
Was it
out
the
and
smoothie?
maybe he didn't like the
No.
smoothie.
Oh, maybe he didn't like the smoothie.
But so people are, being like, why did he unfollow his wife? Like, what's going on here? And so he came out and he posted on his Instagram story saying, like, oh, he didn't mean to unfollow his wife, that, like, it's getting a little sus, alluding to the fact that he may have been hacked or somebody else did this and it wasn't him. And so, I mean, to me, it feels a little Jax Taylor of, like, I didn't mean to block you. What? I blocked you. Oops. I don't know how that happened. I think my phone
Oop, oop,
accidentally
oop.
blocked you on its own. So he's kind of pulling one of those things, and people are thinking that he's doing this to drum up some sort of press and to get people talking about him so that he can promote his new music.
I mean, it's working because we're talking. But also, like, I got hacked. It's like, girl, what does hack look like this day and age? You gave your phone to a friend, and they're like, I did it for you.
Yeah,
Like,
Mama Knowles. Remember when she liked the photo about the story about Jay-Z, and then she's like, my phone was hacked. I didn't like that.
I'm like, okay, we can all blame it on a hack, and then we move on.
We need to stop
Okay, we'll
blaming
forget
things
it.
on, like, nobody is buying that these hacks are happening. Like, nobody believes that this was a hack.
As a victim of a hack myself, I had an ex-boyfriend tell me he got hacked, and this person sent me photos saying, "Hey, I was egging your man on." This was years and years ago before I even knew you, girl. And this person's like, "I egged him on, but like he sent me these inappropriate messages," and I was like, "You got some splaining to do. Here's some screenshots. We need to talk." And he's like, "I can call you in like an hour, 2 hours." I'm like, "No, we gotta talk right now."
Yeah.
And he on the phone was like, babe, like I was hacked. Those photos, like they don't even. There's no back muscle there. And I'm like, you got that right. You got that right. There's no back muscles there, and that damn looks like your hardwood floors. So do you want anything else to explain? So I was like, lock and key, girl. Getting hacked is like, it's sometimes hard to believe a hack.
Yeah. Well, no, but also hacks again only happen to like deceive people, right? Like to
China.
sign
Oh,
up for this Bitcoin deal. Oh my God, look at all this money I made. Look at this new car that I got. Come and sign up for this so you can make money like me. Like they're scams. People hack you so that they can scam your following, not so that they can sext other people or not so that they can like posts that
unfollow. No one's
or
hacking you to
unfollow.
unfollow your
Yeah,
wife.
dumb.
They want your money.
Unless
They,
unless there is somebody on his team that knew that if they unfollowed, if they have access, like a social media had access to his account, and so they unfollowed Hailey Bieber, knowing that this would create a press frenzy, then that's possible. But I don't. That's still not a hack. That's somebody on your team that was trying to drum up some press.
get a girl. Get her, Jade.
So
On top of that,
that's our music
we have
news.
some other general news
Yes.
to close out our episode. Watch or skip. I don't feel like much is happening. We have Kardashian season 6. We have Abbott Elementary season 5. But like,
the Kardashians trailer just didn't really do anything. The only thing that was like remotely interesting from that trailer, one is that it teases that Kim Kardashian may have a secret boyfriend, but I feel like that's probably going to be a flop.
I've been done with this. I'm like, you guys are not giving me anything interesting about your lives anymore because it's not attainable and it's not relatable.
Well, and we have Lamar Odom who's back because he has a sit down with Khloe, and
Because they need something to talk about.
I don't know what it's going to give up. If anything, that's the only thing that I'm interested in based off of that trailer is Khloe and Lamar, because we haven't seen Lamar in a while. We know how the relationship blew up at the end. Like, the only person that carries this show is Khloe Kardashian.
Khloe.
She gives us her trauma season after season. And I feel like poor Khloe just continues to deliver. And meanwhile, Kendall gives birth to horses and sips 818.
And Kylie's nowhere to be found.
Kylie's literally nowhere to be found and cancels on taping all the time.
And she's somewhere with Timmy all the time.
We need to see Timmy on the show. I mean, even Kim gave us a little bit of Pete.
But we didn't even... That was scrubbed out for high hell and back. You know that.
Oh, yeah. The second they broke up, they completely scrapped all his scenes.
Well, that's our watch or skip, really. I mean, like...
Well, I did watch Cameron Diaz's new movie now that she's out of retirement and acting again.
And you felt it was not good or good?
It was better than I thought. The ratings online. Ratings were like, oh, it sucks. But I thought, listen, it was a cute, like, family, what type of, like, action thriller?
It only gets you so far, Zach, and you should know that.
It's like an action flick, right? With Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz. I thought it was cute. I mean, it's a little campy and it's a little cheesy, but, like, what do you expect from, like, a Netflix action flick?
I don't know, girl. Something to get Cameron Diaz.
I recommend watching it. Listen, have some wine. I didn't because we're not drinking. But, like, have some wine this weekend. Sit down, make some popcorn, and, like, watch it. It's a cute film. I recommend it.
Eat some ass and watch Cameron Diaz. That's what I say.
Oh.
And if you can't do either one, then I'm sorry for you. So, but if you want to eat something else or drink something else, in our general news, we do have Spidey getting their own banana cream top.
Wait,
see what I did there?
This is the place you took me to, La La Land.
Yes. Oh my God. Finally, you wake up.
Well, but I was looking, I was like, why do I know this place? Have I been there? And I was like, oh my God, this is the place Andy always takes me to.
Why do I know this basic ass bitch on this block?
Can we go and try the Spidey latte?
It's 4 blocks from me, girl. You want to try it?
I'll be there on Monday.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Let's get a Spidey latte on Monday.
That's your social video. Zach's been, okay. Listeners, I love when podcasters go, listeners. Zach has been asking for me to do more social content, and the only way for us to do more social content
I'm asking him to do any social content.
First of all, I want you to take a second.
Well, also,
if you're gonna make my ass do this, you got to go to Instagram, hit the fucking follow button, get my ass to fucking be motivated for a second to do something with Zach, and let me know, because I see a couple thousand of you who don't do jack shit on here, and I'm like, well, they listen.
Yes,
we listen and we judge.
Yes, but also, just so everybody knows, because I'm an accountability coach, Andy said that one of his 75 hard daily challenges that he was going to rise to the occasion on is posting on social media once a day, putting out content daily. Do you know how much content he's put out since we started 75 hard?
I do put it out. I've been putting out content. I've been whipping out shit on Threads, Instagram, writing articles. So even on my off days, I'm putting out shit. And so at least I put out, unlike some others. But anyway, yeah, if you want to see some shit, Zach's going to get up on this Spidey banana cream top, because that is what he is, nothing but a bottom, latte. So that's going to happen next Monday. So get your ass ready and go see it on Instagram.
There we go. We'll do a taste test of it. Melissa Gorga sending me her sprinkle cookies.
Don't know who that is, but great.
Yeah, so I'll do a taste test of that too.
Cool. You'll sit in my living room and do that probably.
Okay.
What is the benefit for the Spidey latte for those who are girls who want to get it?
They donate to the victims of the fire.
Got it. So there's the plug. Do what you got to do and buy it.
But that's because Erewhon didn't want to give them their own latte. Erewhon's like, nah, we don't want to give you that latte because we gave it to Hailey Bieber. And like they do all the... Didn't Kris Jenner, one of the Kylie, one of the Kendall had one. Remember, it was like peaches and cream.
For the fires?
What?
They're not doing anything for the fires, Erewhon?
I don't think so. But so he's not happy with Erewhon right now. And also Spencer Pratt is also not happy with Alex Cooper. And apparently they're beefing.
I love how you put the kissing as beefing.
Well, I
Like
mean,
that's the sign
it is a
language for.
one-sided beef, but so I'm curious what your thoughts on this are because Spencer is asking everybody to stream Heidi's music and to post using Heidi's music. So I've been posting a lot, because I post on Instagram more than you do with Heidi's music all the time, right? And I was at the gym this morning and I was listening to all of Heidi's music.
Well, don't you have a one-sided beef with Mr. Spencer Pratt as well, who hasn't responded to your messages about coming on the podcast?
I wouldn't call
You
it
know,
beef, but I should follow up with him about that.
yeah, I haven't heard any messages back from you about this
He hasn't
confirmation. So that's my thought on
He
it.
hasn't written me back, but he's fighting with Alex Cooper right now because, well, actually, a lot of people haven't texted me back. Like Teddy didn't text. I texted her the other day too. Anyway, I digress. He's fighting with Alex Cooper because he reached out to her and he's like, "Hey, do you mind posting Heidi's song?" And she's just like, "Listen, I'm kind of busy right now because I have people that are staying with us because they had to be evacuated." And so she kind of like dismissed him.
Oh, she hit him with a back like a listen.
Yes. And then he also had reached out to her husband, and her husband's like, "Oh, okay, I'll let her know." She says that she's looking into it. And I was like,
That doesn't take much, girl.
I'm just saying, like, what are you looking into? Like, what do you, they lost
I'm
their
looking
home.
into if I can hit the share icon of all these things that you're sharing right now, Spencer.
And Spencer's
Get
like,
fucked. I'm sorry.
Spencer's like, I went out of my way to go all the way to her studio and tape her podcast and promote it and do all the different social bits that she wanted me to film with her so that we can promote it and promote Call Her Dad. And he's like, I did all that. The least she can do is post an Instagram story where she tells people stream Heidi's music because she's so popular. And so he's not happy with her.
Want to
about
get
that.
paid for it? Because that's what sounds like she wants. She wants to get paid to share, but like,
Come on. And also,
But, like,
she didn't
come
really
on.
do anything for the fires, and she's been promoting her Unwell water nonstop. But Spencer said, "You know who my new favorite person is? Sophia with an F."
me. Oh,
Because Sophia with an F posted about Heidi's music, and Sophia with an F is the one that had beef with Alex Cooper. Juicy.
and that is juicy. So, our last thing to land on in our fun news, I'm interested to see how all these unfold. Hit the follow button on Instagram. Is the Netflix prices raising
Again?
People have their thoughts.
Oh my
People have
God.
their
I already
thoughts.
paid too damn much for Netflix. I had to pay for the ultra premium just so that I could fucking watch It Ends With Us.
Standard plan is going up by $2.50 to $17.99 per month.
What?
This is happening. It was the announced recently biggest ever quarterly increase in subscribers with a gain of nearly 19 million. Under the new pricing, however, Netflix's standard plan without ads will rise by $2.50, going from $15.49 to $17.99 per month.
That's crazy.
It's been 3 years since they upped the standard pricing tier, which provides the two simultaneous HD streams. Also, they will be adding a ad-supported tier cost of $1 increase to $7.99 per month, with the premium tier, the one you shat on before, with 4 simultaneous streams up to now $24.99 per month. Again, another $2. Now, if you want to carry another member, it's now $7.99 to $8.99 per month. So we're seeing $1 to $2 change. Here's my hot take. I'm gonna be your Whoopi Goldberg here. Do it. Fucking do it, girl. Because you know why? When I go to the movies, if I want to watch one movie, it is $10 to $25. How many things can I watch on Netflix? Enough. Like, there's a lot of titles and shit on there. I know they window them. I know they're coming in and out. But like, girl, if I can watch a movie a day on Netflix, which I can, for $24.
Yeah, but a movie theater is an experience. You're going in.
My couch is a fucking experience. Paying rent is an experience. I experienced this in my ass.
Yeah, but Netflix you can watch on your cell phone in your bed. That's not a paid experience. Convenience, yes, but like the premise of Netflix was we have this standard rate and we're not going to up our rates. That was what they initially.
The standard of Netflix was Netflix and chill. So while you're not watching, you fuck.
I mean,
so you're paying to fuck, and now you're paying for convenience to fuck.
There you go.
So it used to be only watch on TV. Now you can fuck with your phone. Now you can fuck with your tablet. You can fuck with your laptop.
I can use my Octobuddy and just like have it up there.
Can you imagine you're like watching Netflix and it falls on your face with your Octobuddy from the ceiling?
Oof, that's the worst when you have your phone and you're holding it up in bed and then it falls on your face.
Oh yeah, and everyone's like, "What happened to your black eye?" You're like, "Nothing."
Heather game. All right. Well, I think that's a scam, but okay. I'm probably going to still sign up for it anyway.
I'm still going to do it. And you know what else I'm going to do?
Because I signed up for the Ultra Premium so that I could watch It Ends With Us, because they only let me watch It Ends With Us with the Ultra Premium. I paid for It Ends With Us on Netflix Ultra Premium, and then I paid to watch Wicked.
Why does it sound like a porn site? Ultra Premium.
Well, just like Wicked.com.
Wicked.com. Throw that back. Throw it fucking back for the gods. Well, obviously, if you love the Pop Report, you should subscribe. As Zach says, you should like, follow, do all the things. Follow Zach on Instagram because that's what's coming up next. But if you don't follow the Pop Report, y'all been given some social love for all these clips, and a couple of them are like 100,000. So, like, damn, I'm like, where'd y'all come from? But yeah, kudos to y'all. Zach, what do you want to leave them with?
Subscribe and follow and leave a review because they really do help. And I think it's important to support your podcast that you listen to and love. It's free. It's easy. It takes 2 seconds to just hit the little 5 stars on Spotify, on Apple. So hit them, leave a review if you feel compelled, and let us know which one of us is your favorite.
You know what's funny?
What's funny?
Actually, you know what would make Zach's day?
What would make my day?
Making his 2 podcasts compete against each other for the top spots on the charts would make his ego erroneous.
Oh my God. It would tickle my taint.
It would just blow the butthole. Like, full 10 out of 10.
We do have comments on
Spotify. Oh yeah, what's the latest on Spotify?
Sarah said, "I'm glad Zach isn't afraid to say stuff about his government giving American dollars to foreign countries." When did I talk about that? Okay.
I don't know that.
We also have so we have other ones. Thank you, Zach. Zach is very well level-headed. Thank you, Zach. My thoughts exactly regarding Chriselle and Scandival. We've beat this dead horse. Find new material. Olivia says, Dylan is a great guy. Who's Dylan? Oh, Dylan Efron?
Dylan from The Traitors.
I've known him since he was a kid, and he has a fun personality. It doesn't surprise me that he's doing good on the show. Both brothers are nice. Thank you, Olivia.
Wow. Okay, so nothing but love for Zach and Dylan Efron. The third is me sitting out on the sidelines because no one ever wants a third.
I mean, thank you guys for the love.
Thank you, bye. I'm unsubscribing from this ultra premium subscription of nothing I'm having, and I'm still going to be on this joyride anyway.
It's okay. You have a man to do you later.
You mean my hand? Oh, all right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Well, oh my God, you made it this far in the episode. First of all, thank you so much. Second of all,
subscribe.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button.
Wherever you are, just do the damn thing.
Yeah, I don't care if you're on the bus, if you're on a Tinder date. Just hit the subscribe button right now. Show us some love. That way the next episode is fresh in your inbox.
And we'll see you soon.